Well, it's been about a week since I learned that I allegedly took, or as it was insinuated, I took cups from one of my locations, which I didn't, but I've had a week to think about a lot of things that I wanted to say and maybe in a way hope that my client location will one day see this. And I want you to know I have kept your identity safe. Um, and even though I had gone to some of my colleagues and said, "What do you think of this?" I didn't do it, I didn't say exactly what, any background. I just wanted their raw, reasonable response. But anyway, I have a list of things I wanted to go over as a follow-up, and I'll try not to make this boring. Uh, First off, starting with once I had learned about this and how baffled and devastating it was, I didn't get any sleep for quite a while, actually. My body finally gave up at 3 in the morning. I think it would have been Monday, officially Monday morning. We were there Saturday night, or evening, I should say. Well, it turned into night, didn't it? I was there for so many hours. Um, and finally, at 3 in the morning, I finally gave in. Unfortunately, I had to work a day job all day, and every day I don't get to come home. I get to go to another job and then another job. So I get home at 10 o'clock every night. So I got an hour and 40 minutes sleep over this thing. I think that I wasn't prepared for it to feel so horrible, knowing that if they knew me, they would know this was an impossibility. Okay. But anyway, and they don't, and I understand why they wouldn't. So anyway, I've got a few notes here. I'll try to stick to the notes, that way I can get through this. Sorry, my bangs are itching my head here. Okay. When in my first video I talked about conflict resolution, and those that know me know that I will take any situation, even if it's a negative situation, and find joy in it. And that joy comes in a learning. So we talked about conflict resolution, and what I wanted to say is, and this can apply to any situation, but if you restate the issue, it shows that you listened. Okay, so that's kind of a really important thing. And not to fly off the handle either. I mean, you'll find this in any conflict resolution. Let's say you're with a company and you're accused of stealing. And going against a company policy or something, and you didn't do it, and you really need to work and be willing to work with these people um, through situations so that you can be part of the remedy and know that you can come to a conclusion. Identify with others. I did say that, and I want to expound on that because it's not just the obvious. We need to identify with others on how they feel as well, especially when conflict is involved, okay? Because that comes with a lot of different emotions. So I feel that I did that in my letter to them, knowing that it was awkward, it was frustrating. And here's a side note. When they wrote that on the board, it probably was not awkward. I just assumed it would be. But it was probably more out of frustration, and for them it was a confrontation to what could be a remedy, and I don't blame them for that. Although I would probably go about it a different way. When we want to work with others and come to a conclusion, we should probably approach it in a way that would allude to them being misplaced or lost, because what that can do is open a dialogue. And let's say I did it, which I didn't, but let's say I did. That would give someone an out. So you could say, hey, you know what, we noticed this going on, Can you help us? And that help could come by way of maybe bringing them back, putting them in a place saying, yeah, I found them, we're good. I mean, you don't want people in your midst. They're going to be thieves, but it's a way of bringing people together without me being an accusation. Just food for thought as we move through life. And of course, I offered suggestions and my willingness to cooperate, and that's something that we should always do when we're in conflict. Um, State your position, though. We don't want to be accused of and just say, yeah, I did it, when it's not the truth. I mean, we should always stand behind what's true and right. And of course, offer a remedy. And in my case, I offered the remedy of buying cups. Now, I'm not saying that because I'm guilty, because I'm not guilty, okay? But I said I would. And here is another learning. If we say we're going to do something, do it, because if we do what we say, people will say what we do. Think about that. They'll say what we do. Credibility is only as good, or truthfulness and honesty is only as good as credibility. And we can build that credibility by doing what we say and people seeing that. How important is credibility? Well, it's the foundation of all of it. So, and I don't make that stuff up. I have learned through understanding work groups. I was a team facilitator. I was trained in jobs prior to, and also, you come, if you do a little research on it, you'll find out that it is a foundation. Here's another learning, and this is for the people in the housekeeping or cleaning industry or service industry. Get to know your clients. If my clients had got to know me like my other ones have, they would find out it was an impossibility, that I would never do that to them. Okay, so get to know your clients. They would find us easy to get along with. We're hardworking, we're honest, and we're even funny. We find joy in these things, and we have an excellent rapport with our other companies that we service. So moving forward, what I plan to do is one of the other companies that are out of town, they don't get to see us. I'm going to make sure that I find ways to help bridge that, and so that way, if something ever came up, they too would know it's just not a possibility. It took more than one person to come to that conclusion of writing on the board, cleaning crew. We recently had 2 purple-colored cups went missing, or come up missing on. They went missing over 2 weekends. Number one, that's not an accident, is it? Think about that. And of course, I thought I was overthinking it, is not overthinking. It wasn't just missing. They went missing. All right? Went is an action word in itself. Anyway, my thought is this. You have a work group. They all came to that. Several of them had to have come to that conclusion to get to that point to insinuate that I did something. All right. And then in my thought is, well, golly, if it's cups, what else will there be? Or what has there been? These are normal human responses. This will happen in any situation. Okay, so that whole concept of theft will actually start festering within a group. So I withdrew from the location effective immediately. And the reason why, and it's not because I'm guilty, because I'm not, okay? You think, well, they ran away, they must have been guilty. That's not it. I did that to protect their comfort, okay? And I also did it to protect my company's integrity. My boss is very hardworking, okay? I'm lucky enough to be local. I mean, we're going national. So, my boss and the people I work with that I report to are very good and hardworking people. And I would never want to jeopardize that with my presence, even though it was wrong. But then again, we get to perception, don't we? Here's another learning. Perception is truth, isn't it? I always used to say there's three sides to a story: yours, mine, and the truth. But perception is truth, and we need to definitely feel for that, okay? Empathize with that fact. Now, as far as labeling people, I said that in the other video because it's a generalized statement. We tend to do that a lot in this world, and it's everywhere. We do it all the time. And I think we need to take a step back as a society and realize, we can't label people. Everyone has a story, and we need to empathize and respect for that. You went to that, of course, yeah, it's a large account. I didn't want to jeopardize that. I think that's really about it. Couple things. I guess based on what was on the board, I assumed that they wanted my help, and I owe them an apology. They didn't want my help, or they would have asked for it. So, I went right into it assuming I was starting to look for cups. Remember in my video I said I didn't know what I was looking for. I still am not sure, because since doing a little research, I'm learning that there's filters, pods, and cups. I don't even know yet. So I'm going to buy probably a couple of each, because no, they're cups, they said. So I don't know. I went through this scenario last week with osteoarthritis flare-up, and I have degenerative disc disease. Now, before y'all freak out and wonder, oh my God, it's horrible, we all have it. Okay, when you reach a certain age, it starts degenerating. So everyone has it. Mine's just further along. Mine was discovered in my late 20s. So that in turn, due to overuse, turned to osteoarthritis. So I did all this 6 hours worth of not only work, but this, and no sleep with a flare-up. So it was pretty rough. I'm still not over it. That's why I keep doing these videos. But anyway, we're going on 13 minutes. Let's just stop right here. I had these few extra things I wanted to add. I took care of them very well. I'd wash their coffee cups and place it back on their desk. Like I said, I bought their soap with my own money. I bought liquid gold to make sure I made sure their mats were extra shiny and not dull looking, or bottoms of chairs. I put their stock away, and that wasn't part of my contract, and I apologize for that. Okay, I'm sorry for both my boss, any subsequent team coming in. I went beyond what I should have. And that's a learning as well, because you need to make sure if you're under contract, you know what your contract states. Like the cases of copy paper, and that horrible yellow band that only scissors works on, get rid of it for opening cases. I would break it for them. If they left coats and sweaters or whatever on top of counters, I would fold them nicely and put them over the chair. I think my hotel experience kicked in on that one. But anyway, it's done. I'm still going to give always the level of service that I do in a very honest, real, and fun way. And we'll keep plugging along. I wish the new team coming in the best of luck. Remember, we always need to be smart in what we do. We need to take time to think what the other side thinks and how others feel. And I think when we start identifying with that, the world will be a better place. So just a small learning situation that can be taken, and you can learn more from it. Okay? That would be it for today. We got to go and do the other location here in about an hour or so. So anyway, that's it for now.